What's up guys, and welcome to today's video. Today we're back with the Nick Fury EOP acceptance quest. This one is probably one of the easier ones if you've got a good counter, one of the harder ones if you don't. Tends to be the way with these, but I think it's sort of quite, if you have a Kitty Pryde, you can solo this, a Herc, you can solo it. If you don't, it's still not one that's too challenging. Perhaps actually at the beginning of this video I did in fact get it wrong. I don't think it is one of the harder ones. I think it's one of the easier ones given who else is on the path. Going forwards, like Modok is quite annoying and Dragon Man are quite annoying, and then you've clearly got Havoc and Warlock, two very annoying fights. But this Nick Fury one's actually quite okay. The Disorient gives you a little bit of willpower healing, which is always quite useful. So let's jump into what his nodes are. He's got a Fury. When he's struck, he has a 10% chance to trigger a Fury buff, which gives him an extra 100 attack. Something that isn't too much to worry about, not a node that's going to affect the way you play. You're going to have to hit him, so that's sort of the way it goes. This one is a little bit different. When he receives a bleed, they're immune to. Nick has a 75% chance to gain a tactical charge. So really, again, not something that's that vital for your counters, your Kitty Prydes, your Hercules, two champs you don't really put a bleed in. When striking into his block, you have a 40% chance to be inflicted with a bleed debuff, so you've got to be really careful of this one, because then it links very carefully to the burnout one. So whenever the defender activates a special attack, they gain a burnout charge, increasing their special attack by 10%. If he has 10 or more burnout charges, 10 are removed, and he's passively power locked. Whenever you activate dexterity from the special attack, the defender gains an additional burnout. So building up those burnouts then mean he is power locked for a bit, which is very useful to you. But I would say the biggest issue on here is debilitating refund, where if you have a debuff on you, so this could be the Disorient, the bleed from Nick Fury, then his special attacks basically don't cost any power, and you can get trapped into a stage where he's constantly throwing SP3s, he's constantly throwing SP1s, SP2s. The bit that you want to get it to is where either you're doing damage and you're constantly trapping them in SP2, or you are you're trying to get past that SP1 stage, because the SP1 can go unblockable. It will do some damage to you, it will inflict you with a Disorient, keeping that sort of debuff up, meaning that he'll constantly not lose any power from his special attacks. That SP2 is much easier to bait and to dex, so you can do that, and then once your debuff is gone, you'll eventually be able to sort of mitigate all of that power. It will all disappear, and then you can restart again. You'll see it in the gameplay a little bit better, but for a moment I thought better to explain it, sort of let you guys know how it sort of goes. So for me, when I was playing it, if I got a bleed or a Disorient on me, I would try and continue to hit him until he got through 2 bars of power, and then I'd continue to bait that one out until I lose my bleed or Disorient, and then once those two are gone, then I decided that I would sorry for the pause, I was just thinking of what I was going to say. I'd wait for the debuff to disappear. Once it's disappeared, bait it again. It just goes, he goes back to no power, and you sort of restart again. So that's sort of the way I fight it. I'll show you a bit more in the gameplay coming up. The last two ones we've got here are defective defense. Blocking attacks has a 100% chance to apply Disorient. So this also is sort of linked to that debilitating refund node, where if you're blocking him all the time, he will put Disorient on you. So you've got to be making sure that you intercept or are baiting heavies and specials so that you can punish those after. And then finally we've got clapback. When a poison, shock, bleed, incinerate or plasma is placed on the defender, you'll also get that same debuff. So just be careful of bringing in champs who do a lot of debuffs. Like I said, a Hercules, a Kitty Pryde are quite good. Kitty Pryde's SP1 is good because obviously you put an incinerate on him to gain your temperature, and also that incinerate being put back on you gains your temperature, more SP2 damage. So let's jump into the gameplay and sort of see how I got on with this fight. Hopefully this has helped you guys out. See you in the gameplay. What's up guys, I have now picked a piece of gameplay where I think I'll be able to showcase it a bit better with the Kitty Pryde and the Hercules. Two great counters for this are Kitty Pryde and Hercules, as I mentioned. I probably could have at one point got the solo with Kitty Pryde, but I got a little bit unlucky on this first run, and then after that I sort of went for the SP3 cheese, where I should have just gone with the fight normally. The fight on its own isn't actually too tricky to fight. You can SP3 cheese it, where if you throw your SP3, then you're phased, and then he throws his SP3 constantly, and you basically just do SP3 damage. That is a way of doing it, but I would just recommend fighting the fight normally. So as you can see here, I'm not been lucky, not got those bleeds from hitting into his block. I've got one now. The bleeds don't do a lot of damage, which is good. So if you don't stack up too many of them, then you are able to heal a lot with the willpower. You can see intercepts are sort of the best way to play this. I have got this, a debuff on me. So luckily, I've managed to lose that one. I'm going to wait. He's going to lose his power. So that's basically what you want to do there. You see the 3 burnout charges are there. I'm getting him close to the stage where he's at 10 burnouts, so that he gets power locked. And I just want to constantly do this. Don't let him bait. Keep throwing that SP1. So try and intercept him when I can to push him to the SP2. And then that, just because that one's a bit easier to dex. You see I've got the bleed on me now, so he's not going to lose any power while I've got that bleed on me if he throws any special attacks. I mean, I'm getting quite lucky at the minute where he doesn't seem to be throwing any while bleed's on, but you can see there he didn't lose any power because I had a bleed on. So you can see here throwing my SP3 for him to throw his. Managed to do quite a lot of damage with this one, but eventually it won't go too well for me, which is a little bit annoying, but you can see there I've managed to get him to lose all his power, and I've got my temperature up. So really it's just about building the fight like this. It's quite a slow one with Kitty Pryde and Hercules. You can do a lot of damage to this Nick Fury, sorry. This is sort of the way I would recommend playing it. It's just getting him away from that SP1 and just constantly throwing that SP2, because otherwise you get, that's 8 disorients on me, meaning that every time he throws his SP1, he's not going to lose any power until those debuffs are gone. So that's basically the fight. Hopefully this video helped you out. If you have enjoyed, please leave a like, and if you are new around here, please do subscribe. We're trying to get our way to 600 subscribers. I'd massively appreciate it if you could. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.